Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, sir.
Hey,
So,
sorry,
sir,
I was
today we
actually
are.
on a call.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. No issue.
Tell me.
So, sir, today we are recording a video. Uh, so, hi, guys. This is Michael, sir, Michael John from Fortune 9 Homes. Sir, could you please tell a brief about your company? Like, what motivates you started?
Okay, I guess somewhere I can feel the echo. If others can put themselves on mute, then that will be easy for me to talk because I can hear my own voice.
Hmm.
Yeah, perfect. So,
Yes, sir.
guys, my name is Michael John, and I'm the owner for Fortune 9 Homes. So basically, this is a real estate broking firm that we run in Mumbai. And it's been almost 5 years that we are running successfully this organization, and we'll deal across with major developers in Mumbai like Lodha, Rustomjee, Kalpatru. All these kind of major developers are associated with my company, and we are doing good business with them. So basically, if I want to talk about a gist of the broking firm in Mumbai, is something that developers come up with their projects, and we go and meet the developers. We give them the commitment that this is the number of bookings that we'll provide every month to you. We take either a monthly target, a quarterly target, or a 6 months target, and accordingly we schedule our team to work to that particular project. Now basically how we work is that we either go digital, we either go reference wise. That's how we source our clients. We get them at the site, we explain the projects to them. We closely work with the sales team of that particular developer, and my team, they work closely to each other. They closely work with each other to make sure the client that walks into the site are being completely convinced with the product, and the booking has been done or the deal is closed. That's how the company works, and this is about my company.
Oh, so forwarding to Ritik.
Good evening, sir. I'm Ritik Mohanta. So we want to know firstly, what were as you are in dealing in Mumbai, and it is a dream city of many people, and many people do want to settle there, buy homes and all, as you know. And so, what are the mainly demand, like mostly for residentials or commercials, like for real estate?
Okay. So basically, if you talk about the major demand, I would say if I want to bifurcate out of the 100% demand that we receive, uh, 70 to 60%, or maybe 65 to 70% is purely residential demand, and 35 to 30% is your commercial demand. Now, commercial is increasing in Mumbai. Is also another reason is because it's a business center, and moreover, the demand for the commercial, first the commercial offices used to be big, of around 100 seater, 200 seater, 600 seaters, but now the small pockets of commercials are also increasing a lot because of the startup companies coming in, where they have just limited staff of 5 to 10 staff, so they only require 200 square feet or 300 square feet spaces. So these are the kind of commercial spaces now the developers are making office spaces, where the minimum carpet area is around 300, maximum is around 500. Earlier the commercial spaces used to be around 1000 square feet floor plate, 2000 square feet floor plate, or maybe somewhere 5000 square feet floor plate, but now they are making small commercial offices to fulfill the startup needs. And residential is always in a high demand in Mumbai because everybody wants to own a dream home in Mumbai, so that's how it is.
Uh, so continuing this, as many people mostly are buying in residential growth demand. So what are challenges do you face while when conversation with clients and all, like new clients or maybe existing clients? If you can please.
Okay, so it's a good question. The problem or the the hurdles that we face during closing a commercial, I mean during closing a residential client, is only when it comes to uh, project location and project pricing, because location plays a major role in Mumbai. Depending on what location you're in, the prices vary. Okay, and if it's a growing infrastructure development area, the prices are less. If it's already a developed place where the infrastructure is developed, all other things are developed, it's in a proper residential zones and everything, then the prices are too high. So it again, pricing and location are the two major factors that plays a major role while closing a client.
Thank you, sir. Now it is Siddhant's turn. Like he wants to
Good evening,
ask.
sir.
Hi, Siddhant.
Hi, sir. So the major question for me, like being an MBA student, we all are here, and because of the crisis of today's and today, like we face a problem like what are the skills that we need to have while coming into industry, like real estate, or majorly should I focus on real estate? Also has some finance majors. We should be well aware with the finance skills. So, what
Mhm.
skills do you think that we should have, an MBA student should have while coming to your background to real estate?
See, just not talking about just a real estate thing. See, in MBA, what happens is that you might want to specialize in various fields. Okay, one tip that I would like to give you, all you young guys, is that in whatever stream or whatever domain you want to enter, okay, first of all, you need to gain a lot of knowledge in that particular domain. Okay, get yourself skilled in that particular domain. Say if you want to get into real estate, learn what is real estate, learn the basic things of real estate, what all segments are involved in real estate, understand the basic rules and regulations of real estate. Once you understand majorly around 30% of a particular domain, you understand certain thing, you enter into that. Make sure you learn. Every day is a learning for you. Okay, make sure you upskill your skills. Okay, upgrade your skills in every day, every life, whether you're learning it from your juniors, you're learning it from your seniors, but you should always make sure that you upgrade your skills. Okay, and another thing is that be focused on what you want to do. Like if you want to talk about my background, I originally was working with a corporate industry, and from corporate I moved into a real estate. It was a totally an opposite direction that I moved in, but when I moved in, I made sure that I had enough knowledge of that particular segment before entering into that real estate. I made sure that I spent a good amount of time, either part time or no, without any monetary gains. I started spending my time in real estate with people around. Okay, so that I could get that experience. Once I got the experience, once I understood, okay, fine, this is the expertise I want to get into, or this is my skills, or this is what I would like to do, that's when I entered into real estate. And today I'm doing a very good thing. I'm good, I'm doing well, and I don't regret on that. So if you want to enter to any stream or any segment, make sure you first understand whether you are excited to get into that particular stream. Just not pushing, someone is pushing you, so don't enter. Once you are, and once you understand, yes, my expertise is good in this, I like, it's my daily. When you like something, you give your whole hearted to do that particular thing. So that's how every career segment has to be like that. If you like something, give your entire body, your energy, your mind into that, learn everything. Make sure you give 100% to what you're doing, then only you will be able to success, you get a successful in that particular stream.
But totally agreeing with your point. Without hard work, there's nothing.
Yes.
Also, one thing that you mentioned, like skills are very important. But in MBA in our college, we have also been taught that with skills there should be practical knowledge also. Like we have to physically work also. So what are the physical activities or the physical projects, practical projects do you think is very important before entering the industry? Like
So
what one
what
should
you do
have?
is that, in case if you want to get yourself into real estate, okay, make sure on the, see, basically real estate works only on Saturday, Sunday. That's what our major business days are.
Yes,
Monday
sir.
to Friday is it's something that we call the clients, we do follow up with them. But Saturday, Sunday is like our how is your exams, your term. You get ready for your term every four times a year. We get ready every 2 days in a week. Okay, so every Friday is like a war for us कि like Saturday कितने आपके कितने clients आने वाले हैं, आपके कितने clients आने, कितने closing आएंगे. So we get into that mode on Friday only. So what you do is that you go and visit the sites. Okay, you go and physically go and visit the site, because apart from your theoretical knowledge, your practical knowledge also is more important. Theory will give you an understanding and overall atmosphere what is happening, but when you go practically meet people, understand how it works, how you want to talk to people. Get in touch with some of your friends who are into real estate, go meet them at the site, tell them, I want to spend 1 or 2 hours with you. When your client comes, can I sit next to you? So when you sit with them, you understand how they tackle questions, what are the questions that clients have, how do the questions are being tackled from the other side of the table. So you will understand all these things, how it happens. So practical knowledge, if you want to gain in real estate, you need to get on the field, go visit the builder's office on Saturday, Sundays, tell them I'm an MBA student, I want to gain some knowledge of real estate. Is there any way that I can sit on in your office for some time, understand how the clients have been entertained, welcome when the clients walk into a sales office, how they first the receptionist goes and meets the client, they fill in a certain visit form, and then how the manager comes and he takes forward the client to the next level. That's how you need to gain the practical knowledge.
Thank you so much, sir. I have a better picture right now.
Yes.
Passing over to Antika.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi.
My question is, as a fresher, how can students gain hands-on experience through internship in client management?
So client management internship is something. See, internship is given to you only because to get your hands-on knowledge to that particular segment. Okay, when you're doing an internship, make sure that you don't take it as a learning phase. You take it as if you're doing a job over there. Okay, because if you think I'm just been assigned this is my task given by my college, and I need to finish this task. If you're going with that particular intention, then your internship does not give you weightage for that. But when you go into an internship, make sure that you work as an employee over there, because that company who is offering you an internship wants to make sure that they are giving the enough time that where they teach you practically. Okay, so you get involved in each and every practice of that internship. Okay, so whenever you're getting an internship into any office, any site office or anything, make sure you give your 100% work as an employee over there, as if they're going to pay you your salary and this is the last and final job that you have in your world. Okay, if you go in that in your thought process, that's how your internship will be successful.
Okay, so my next question is, what specific qualities do you look for in fresh MBA graduates for real estate roles?
So real estate is very dynamic, to be very frank, and it's changed a lot from what real estate was in past 10 years or 15 years back. 10 to 15 years back, when we used to deal with the real estate agents, the real estate agent did not have any proper communication. They were chewing pan. Okay, they walk with very unprofessional manners and everything. But today the real estate has changed. It's a game changing industry for all the people who are doing MBA. Their first preference has become now to become a sales manager in a big developer company. It's why is because first of all, if I want to hire someone in my company, I first of all look into how presentable that person is and how good is he or she is in communication, because these two are the most major important aspect to become a good realtor. Is why, because if you are a good if you can communicate good, you can easily talk to any client and that client will think that I'm dealing with a professional person. Because in real estate, your first communication is over the phone, because when you get a lead, when you generate a lead, you don't meet the client face to face first. You first talk to them over the phone. That is your first impression, that when you talk to a client over the phone, with your communication, the client will judge, okay, fine, with whom I'm talking, that person has a knowledge. As I said, in whatever field you want to get into, you have to get the knowledge first. Second is your communication. You have to have good communication. And when that client talks to you and your meeting has been scheduled, and when he meets you and if you are presentable, then he has that 100% checklist done. Okay, fine, communication is done and this person looks professional. And that's how the trust is been built, because he's going to invest 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore only basis what you're saying, because that 1 crore, 2 crore is a big amount, only because how you talk to him, how you talk to that person, how presentable are you, that's how your client is then converted.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No
Passing
problem.
over to Meenakshi.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Nakshi.
So my question is, what the red flag do you notice in the interview rounds which the MBA student gives?
Red flag.
Yes, sir.
So,
Like,
so basically, if I want to, so red flag is from the interview side or the person who's giving a interview from the MBA side?
the person who is giving the interview, the MBA students who are giving the
Mhm.
interview. So
Okay.
what the red flag do you notice recently?
So first thing is
Most
that the most important part in an interview is your confidence level. Okay, when you come, you sit, the kind of body posture you carry, okay, that automatically gives an impression to the interviewer that how confident this person is, and whether this person is suitable for my company for the post that I have opened for. Okay, that is one thing. And second is, as I said, communication plays a major important role. Okay, when you start having a conversation with the interviewer does not actually think that he's taking an interview. He always thinks or she thinks that I'm just talking to an opposite person. Okay, an interview should not be an interview. Basically, it's a question and answer round that you're having. So if you also go with the thought process that I'm going to give an interview, you will get into an immense pressure that okay, I want to clear this, what questions they will ask. But if you go with an open mind stating that I'm going to talk to a person who is just going to question me and I need to answer whatever my best is. So if you go with that thought process, you will not face any kind of difficulties, or nor the opposite person will think that this person is not confident. So confidence is the major part that I would always notice.
Thank you, sir. It's a great topic which is you said. So my next question is, what entry level is responsibility would a fresher handles firms in like yours, the entry level responsibilities?
So entry level, if I want to talk about my company, my entry level person, when he or she enters, they first need to understand the basic the etiquettes of the company. What are the important aspects that the company carry, the protocols. Then the second thing is the job knowledge, the important job knowledge, basic before, because I don't tell my employees that you need to close the deal from the day one or from the first week onwards. I first tell them to learn the process. I first tell them understand your colleagues first, how they work. Understand your peers, your seniors first. That what kind of every company or every person has a different aspect of working. So you need to understand that how he or she works. And most important, like I am always been telling to most of them, that knowledge is the most important key aspect to be a successful person, whether you are an employee or whether you are an entrepreneur. Knowledge is the key aspect. So you need to first understand and learn the process completely. Once you're almost done with 60% of your knowledge, or 40% is when you are getting on the field, make sure that you don't straight away enter to your first deal, and go with your seniors, understand how to get the deal done, how to convert a normal walk-in into a deal. So basically, learning is the most important, I would say, the first step of entry level in the company.
Thank you, sir. You give a lot of crux to us, like how the corporate environment works. So I'm handling over the Priyanshu.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, as you have said about the interviews and all that, what we have to, how we should crack the interview and all. So now I would like to know that as a candidate, what questions do we expect from the interviewer on the basis of like, as we are finance students, so what type of financial questions that could relate to the real estate, so that could be asked to us. So it could be easy for us further.
See, if I want to tell you what kind of questions do the interview will ask, it all depend on what domain or what stream that you're entering into. Like if I want to talk about my stream, I want to interview you, I will first ask you what is the understanding of Maharera that we have. Okay, RERA is a body where the government has introduced to make sure all the developers, the buyers, the real estate agent are on the same platform, and it is a governing body to understand, like how SEBI is for stock markets, is something RERA has been introduced by the government. So I would always ask, do you know about RERA? Or what do you understand about real estate? What knowledge do you have? So if you are a fresher and you're entering to any domain or any company in any stream, the interview will not ask you anything apart from what you have learned through your books. So his understanding will be, what do you understand of this particular stream? What is your knowledge in that particular stream? If in that particular stream you have any kind of entity bodies like RERA, like SEBI or something like that, he may or she may ask you about that particular bodies. What do you understand these bodies, how they work? So you need to make sure that whichever stream you're going into, you need to understand the kind of you know basic knowledge of that particular domain, and the kind of government bodies that have been involved in that. These are the basic questions that they will ask, and you need to tackle according to that. They will not ask you, okay, go ahead and calculate this and for me, because he knows that you are the fresher, so they will not shoot those kind of questions to you.
Yeah, so thank you so much, sir. And another question that I would want to know, that what kind of financial responsibilities and analytical task that as a fresher when I joined any firm that I could expect, like handling those, like such as cash flow analysis, project feasibility, budgeting, ROI evaluation, and what else that, and up to how much level?
At the entry level, you need to have this basic knowledge of how all these things work. Okay, but because every industry or every stream will have a different kind of calculations or budgeting, or how to calculate your ROIs. Everybody person will have, or how you want to segregate your cash flows. Each company has a different way of, but you need to understand how these things aspects are being calculated, how they work in each stream, and when this particular thing will be introduced at what level. So you need to have this basic
Okay, so
understanding.
basically we what all we need is the basic understanding of the codes, that we're having all the
Correct.
skills and the domain knowledge mainly.
Correct. At the entry level, this is the most important thing, that you need to always make sure that you understand, you learn, and you initiate things at the entry level.
Yeah. So thank you so much, sir. That's all on me, and I'm passing over to Pratyush.
Yeah.
Hi again, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Pratish.
Okay, so sir, suppose in tomorrow, suppose I'm joining your company. So as Priyanshu said, as you also said, like in the basic entry level, I should have known the financial analysis and all, like budgeting, ROI calculating. So what are your expectation, like in from freshers? What are your expectations? Like what should he do? Like how much he do, like know on portfolio management, on property and all? Like do you have to like manage portfolio of some particular client or the whole at the fresher level?
So at the entry level, we will not give you any kind of an portfolio management, because portfolio management have been done by only people who have gained the knowledge, who have understood what the portfolio management actually works. Like I have an employee who only looks after a certain developer's portfolio. Only he deals with the clients where it is 5 crores, 6 crores kind of portfolio. So that particular segment is only given to him is only after he has gone through a lot of experience, lot of understanding of how, because every segment, every budgeting client has a different way of understanding, has a different way of closing the clients. So first you need to understand at the very basic level how, first of all, knowledge is important. Second is your first practical knowledge is when you sit with the client, what have you gained knowledge over there, and then accordingly you take a step forward from there. So portfolio management is something that is at a later stage, but initially you need to have a lot of understanding of the work that you do.
It's nice talking with you like this.
Yeah.
So, sir, my last question is, so do you suggest any books for like you are in real estate business, so you are in
Okay.
from past 5 years. So do you suggest any books? But so we are all finance student. So what like books do you suggest for like particular finance students only? Like that align with real estate.
See, I think so. You will laugh on me because I personally don't like reading books. Okay, I'm a person who does not read a book, but yeah, I keep myself updated with the daily because I subscribe to certain news updates of real estate. Okay, where I get morning updates from them on my email. I make sure that I read through that and understand what are the basic things. See, reading books is a good knowledge which people say, but for me what I think is that if I want to read a book, I will keep on reading my book, and there are many topics in that are very irrelevant for my particular, profession as well. Where there are some topics about some vague thing which is not related to my real estate. So I have subscribed to those particular channels that give me update on my email. What is the latest update that has happened in real estate? What are the major governmental regulation changes that happened in real estate? What is a big transaction that happened in real estate in the entire India, whichever segment, Noida, Gurgaon, or any other cities? What are the major transactions that has happened? How big transactions have happened? Why that big transaction happened? Who has bought it? And who has sold it? So we get to know about a lot of things. Like for an example, recently I follow a person, Pratish Bhatia, that is in Gurgaon. He's a young entrepreneur real estate guy who deals with not less than 50 crore properties, 100 crore properties. He keeps on doing this kind of deals. I get update from him. I go and he has his own channel. So I visit his channels. I understand, and he gives a lot of knowledge that when you have this kind of a client, how you need to talk to the client. So always get involved with this kind, because I personally feel instead of reading a big 300 400 pages of book, I might as well have a small newsletter that is coming up on a daily basis where I can spend 10 minutes on that, and then I can schedule myself for my work, then rather than reading a book. So reading books is also a good option, but it doesn't work for me because I fall asleep when reading books. That is why.
So same for us. The same for us. So thank you, sir, for this intellectual sessions. So
Okay.
sir, the last question will be like as an industry expert. So what is the like we are currently pursuing MBA. So what are your suggestion for us as an industry expert?
So as an industry expert, as I said, gain knowledge of real estate. Real estate is booming at this point of time, and if you guys are thinking of getting into real estate, guys, this is a good and the right time to enter real estate, because real estate started booming after COVID, in a big numbers, or before COVID also. Actually, real estate started booming in 2016 after era came coming in, because after that government body that was formed, which safeguarded the owners or the buyers. That's how people started trusting on developers and investing in under construction projects. And then after that, we will see always a big transaction happening. So if you guys are doing MBA in real estate, go for it. Real estate is the second largest, what you call as an entity that gives contributes to the GDP of India. Okay, because in real estate there are various streams that has been involved: finance, you have CRM, you have sales, you have a lot of procurement. So once you get into real estate, you have multiple options, the doors open for you. And but you only need to understand when you're entering into real estate what stream you want to get into, whether you want to get into sales, you want to get into customer relationship managers, or you want to get into procurement, or what you want to get into. You want to get into finance, you want to get into architect, or whatever thing. But real estate is an industry, I would say. It's booming. It gives you a good salary. An entry level salary starts from 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs at a real estate industry. I'm telling, go for it, guys, and have a blast in real estate. It's a 6 days working, it's a long hours working, but at the end, you will have your suit on, facing a big client of person getting out from a Range Rover, from a Mercedes Maybach. When you deal with this kind of clientels, you automatically feel. And when you're selling a 3 crore properties, it's a daily, on a daily basis, you'll start telling, this is just 3 crore, sir. You have to just increase yourself by 25 lakhs, which is very easy for them. But once you start using this dialogue on a daily basis, you feel rich, boys. So it's a great experience in real estate. That's what my experience is.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So thank you for this introduction session, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, guys.
you so
All
much,
the
sir.
best, and I hope
Thank
that
you,
you
sir.
guys shine and come out with good, flying colors in your MBA results, and all the best for your careers, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
so much.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much,
much,
Thank
sir.
you
guys.
so
Thank
much,
Thank
you.
you.
sir.
Yeah, thanks. Bye bye.